Those teams play in Minneapolis on Monday Night Football in Week 16, a game that could decide the division. That's going to be fun, and we get to be there. So the Vikings are on a roll. They've won 6 of 7, including that huge comeback win. Week 11, they were down 20 points against the Broncos. But, Lewis, do you believe they're truly in the conversation as one of the elite teams in the NFC?
I absolutely do. Look, I'll hit defense first. Look, they have weapons at all 3 levels of this defense. Obviously, they need to shore up their pass defense more, but they got elite pass rushers, elite cover guys on the inside, and they have secondary players that are great athletes that need to play with better communication and make more plays on the ball. But here's the key. Kirk Cousins is on a tear right now. Kirk Cousins is on a mission. He's on a prove-it mission, and I'm telling you this, it's not just play-action pass. He obviously benefits when the run game is going, and the play-action passing game obviously benefits from that. And over the past 7 weeks, nobody is on fire more than Kirk Cousins. He has 10 touchdowns off of play action. He's completing, a ridiculous percentage as far as his pass is concerned, and his yards per attempt are right up there at the very top. And his rapport right now with Stephon Diggs is second to none. If he can sustain this level on this stage, on the road, in this environment, there's no question that they're there. There's no reason for them to not be mentioned with the big boys in the NFC.
Kirk Cousins, follow me here. Beginning of his career in Washington, you like that? Remember, he's free and wild.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't know any better, and you got all of him. And it was great. Then he started to mature, and then it started to bog down in losses, in missed expectations. People started to criticize him, and I think that whatever Stephon Diggs did when he yelled in the locker room, whatever, it seemed to break him. It was like, let's stop worrying. He's in his head too much. And I think Kirk just freed up. And you've seen that, if my theory is right, you're going to see a freer, more open, and he's done things he hasn't done before. He's won a big game. He and the Cowboys. He brought a team back in the 4th quarter. He hasn't done that. He hasn't won on Monday night. I'm sure that's in his mind tonight. Because I just feel like you're seeing a mature Free now through all the scars and the connective tissue you build through some tough times, and you're seeing a much freer, better football player that I think's got to excite the Vikings.
Everything that y'all just talked about Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, this is an ultimate test for Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position, going against a Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. But when I look at Kirk Cousins going into this game and looking against the Seahawks, how they were able to lose 2 games at home against a very good defense. The Minnesota Vikings have that defense. Kirk Cousins has raised his level of play. And Lou, you just talked about the chemistry between him and Stephon Diggs is on another level. I believe in Kirk Cousins tonight, but he has to definitely play behind that defense because that'll be key.
You can make the argument that he has been, over the last year or two, the most maligned and criticized player in the National Football League. In the last few weeks, he's answered those critics, and he's got a chance to continue to do that with this postseason run. And if Minnesota goes in any type of extended run, nobody can ever say anything about him again.
No. Mike Zimmer is really candid when you ask him how he feels about this team, that the pass defense has to be better for them to go all the way, but he loves that the offense is actually confident now. It's not all about the defense. Ready to get you set to kick off with our field pass. But let's start on the opposite side there, Steve. Focusing on Kirk Cousins, candid about the things he hasn't accomplished, even in the midst of a great run. What's the key as a quarterback to getting that monkey off the back?
Well, I think it's just owning it. And I think he does a great job of owning it. It's like a sense that I know what I haven't done. I know the hurdles that are out there. I know that people have been disappointed in some of the things that I've done. But I also recognize what I have done. And that I have first in the league in pass TDs and second in completion percentage and total QBR in third. So it's like, I think owning all that and not having to feel like you're always running from something, but for running to being a better player. I think that
is a critical part of that.
What a big night for Kirk Cousins. Still coming. We've got Come On Man and Cousins, so candid about all he still wants to accomplish. One of those goals, a win on Monday night. Night, Mike, and Wilson's opposite number tonight. Kirk Cousins fighting for all those things Russ knows so well. Success in prime time, the playoffs, and even a Super Bowl. But first things first, a win in the Pacific Northwest. 1,200 years after the Vikings traveled across Europe, conquering new lands, Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is conquering his old narratives. It started in Dallas in Week 10, when Cousins entered with a road record of 1-7 in prime time and only 4 road wins against winning teams. But the Norseman led the Vikings to a win, conquering both storylines. And weeks later, Cousins won again. This time after trailing in the fourth quarter for the first time as the Vikings quarterback, another narrative conquered. Tonight, he'll attempt to vanquish another shortcoming, win on Monday night for the first time in his career. Cousins addressed it all with Leafs assaulters last night.
You have to be able to throw the ball. You have to be able to make plays.
Kirk Cousins, he just doesn't have enough.
Kirk Cousins is a failure.
He's not worth what he's being paid.
We're just as frustrated as every fan in this state of Minnesota.
When there's dissension, things can fall apart quickly.
You want to be in Minnesota?
Yeah, I want to be in Minnesota.
That did not happen with you guys, just the opposite.
Well, I think you just go back to work. I don't think there's any secret answer. You just say, hey, I guess that week it was week 5. We had the Giants on the road. It's, hey, we got to go and beat the Giants. And really just, as cliche as it sounds, take it one day at a time, one practice at a time.
Great moments are born from great opportunities, all right? Let's go get a win. I like the start. I like what we're about.
At the end of the day, we started 2-2. It wasn't 0-4, but it wasn't 4-0. And now we're sitting at 8-3. 8-3 isn't the end of the story. We got 5 games to go. These final 5 games, I think, are going to tell the story more than anything. People forget how you start, but they remember how you finish.
I shoot!
He's playing lights out. He's doing a great job, and you guys need to give him more credit. You guys are hard on him when he isn't playing well. And he's doing everything he can.
Cousins passes to Diggs. Touchdown! Minnesota Vikings have beaten the Denver Broncos from a 20-0 deficit.
Russell Wilson's in the MVP discussion. Your numbers are similar to his. Why aren't we hearing your name?
He's such a fun player to watch. He's great for our sport, great for our league, and he sets a high bar for the rest of us to keep up with.
You're having a great year too, Kirk. Do you care?
If we can win in Seattle on Monday night, that's what I care about, and that's what'll make me happy.
We're born to be champions.
Kirk Cousins recognizes that the Seahawks played with a ton of energy. He knows they're going to have to match that tonight. He said, we're going to have to bring the juice.